Welcome back to The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD. Last time, we started up our adventure, learned about a hero from long ago, got this swanky new green outfit, and mentioned some very, very old jokes. Yo mama jokes. 69. I'm not proud of it, but it came up some way or another. I guess God allowed it. This time, we're going to look for that sword that we need to get to go save that girl that fell into the forest. But first and foremost, there are a few things I want to get done that have changed slightly in the overworld. One of which being, now that we have our telescope, we can look out at this pirate ship that is, for some reason, not over in this direction where we actually saw it initially. It's now over here. Don't ask me why this happened. It's weird, but they made it teleport, and if you zoom in close enough, you can actually see them discussing. Supposedly, we can assume that they're discussing the lady that fell into the forest, which is pretty dang cool. It's nice that they had that detail. They knew you were going to go look at that pirate ship because you had the new fancy telescope that your sister just gave you. It's really, really nice. Nice touch. Now, other than that, over this way, you may see a ship. This ship introduced a reoccurring Zelda character. It's kind of like your average Tingle. You know? A character that reoccurs in the Zelda series, a very fun and a very wacky one. This new character is Beetle. A customer! Welcome to Beetle's Shopship. I deal in pretty much anything and everything. Do you have anything you don't need? If you do, show it to me. I'll pay top rupees for your junk. Or, do you see anything you'd like to buy? So, Beetle runs a ship on the water, and his ship is pretty dang useful. Here's the bait bag. This allows you to hold bait. It is quite useful. You want to get this as soon as possible, and seeing as I have 169 rupees, I'm really not starving for cash at all, so I'm gonna pick that up. I'm also going to pick up quite a bit of bait. He just explained something right now. I should have read that. It was about the point system that he has. If you get up to 30 points, you can get a silver membership. We don't know what those do just yet. He didn't actually explain that. I'm really actually sad that I didn't read that. I'm kind of mad at myself now. I should have given Beetle the time of day, yet I didn't. Hopefully you can slow down and read that while I'm spamming A. I'm going to get 3 servings of all-purpose bait. This is going to be used for something later, but we don't know what that thing that it's going to be used for later is. I'm buying all of these things in preparation. Here's a Hyoi pear. I think that's how you pronounce it. Probably not. I'm going to get 3 of these. Yes, I'm getting a lot. Yes, I'm spending all my money right now, but it's fine. I really do want to have these things as soon as possible, and this is just going to make it so we don't have to go out of our way and come back to Beetle's shop anytime soon, really. Because in the distant future, we're really only going to need 3 Hyoi pears. We're going to get a few more of those later, but for now, we only need 3. Thank you, Beetle, and I will be coming again. Just you wait. With all that in hand, let's go over here. This guy talked about the fact that, we can get knowledge from him. So I do want to go check out what knowledge he has to offer. So soon? My. If you're already old enough to be wearing those clothes, then it's going to be very important for you to gather as much wisdom as you can from now on. If you're to make your way in the world, that is, Link. Now, I've been studying a wealth of topics since long before you were born. I'm what you'd call a brain of all trades. You're a smart little fellow yourself, aren't you? I've been thinking it's time for me to pass some of my wisdom down. And maybe you're the one I should pass it down to. Everything that you see tacked onto those walls here is something that I've researched thoroughly. And before you ask, yes, I know my filing system is odd. Organizational issues aside, however, it's all extremely useful information, debatable. You would do well to read it all very carefully. Reading leads to knowing, you know.
Such a racket! Can't you keep quiet? You're knocking everything off my shelves, you dratted hooligan! Honestly, the hooligan I'm referring to is my younger brother, my much less intelligent younger brother, Dang, who lives just downstairs. He hates studying all day, every day. The lout just exercises and practices with his weapons. Does he exercise his brain? No! The brain's a muscle too, I think.
Anyway, the only thing he does study is the art of fighting. Right now, for instance, he's been studying fencing and whatnot. As if that's of any use to anyone. He simply doesn't know how to do anything besides exercise. I ask you, what's a brother to do? I actually don't think that's half bad. Exercise is incredibly important. But, whatever. Anyway, all this knowledge that he's spread across his wall is incredibly basic tutorial. This tells me that my hearts show my life. Hopefully this gives you a bit of insight into why I don't usually talk to this guy immediately. It's completely worthless information. There's really not a whole lot to do here. In fact, I go many playthroughs without ever entering this room. Because again, there's no need to. Though it is a pretty interesting looking room. I like this little tree he has up here. He has a very, very fancy house. I also like this window that looks out into the sea. It's very beautiful. I really like this room a lot, but it's just so worthless. But his brother, on the other hand, that brother he talks crap about all the time, well, I'm a bit of a musclehead, and I do solve a lot of my problems with a weapon. Let's go see what he's up to. This is Orca. Oh, what is the matter, Link? You have an urgent look about you. Has something happened? Whatever it is, from the look on your face, I suspect it's no laughing matter. What say you, Link? Ah, have you come for some serious instructions in the way of the sword? Yes, sir. Welcome to this game's combat tutorial. It's really not all that special. I'm going to ignore most of what he says. A horizontal slice, you press B to swing your sword. That's literally it. He's also going to teach you about Z targeting and how that can be used in combat. For example, the vertical slice. You just press Z targeting, you just press ZL, and then press B, and it does a technically different slice. Same amount of damage. There's really not much of a purpose in doing anything else than Z targeting and pressing B. Thrust. You press forward on the analog stick and press B. This is actually pretty useful from time to time. Not overly, but I was doing... Okay. If you mess up, I guess I can show what happens then. He knocks you backwards pretty dang viciously, but other than that, nothing super special. This is a spin attack. He tells you to hold B down to do a spin attack, but instead, you can just spin the analog stick around and press B, and it's the exact same effect. Later on, that'll be different, but for now, it's not. This is actually something that's new to Wind Waker. If you just stand there and Z-target onto an enemy, then from, time to time, there will be an A button prompt that appears on screen. It'll essentially just say, press A, like it did, and you will counterattack the enemy. That's just it. That's the only really special thing about the combat. The rest of it is very basic Zelda stuff. Nothing too special. And yet, I sense a certain anxiousness in the sword you hold. An eagerness that goes far beyond the mere desire to be wielded on the fields of battle. I do not know what has happened, but I have faith in you. Somehow, I doubt you will misuse that sword. You may have it, Link. I give it to you freely. Take the blade with you. You accepted the hero's swords. Wield it with B. Use it wisely and carefully. You don't want to let down the kind old man who has entrusted it to you. Since the olden days, this sword has been used to fend off evil. Its blade is infused with the desire to become strong and righteous. Be strong, Link. Yes, sir. With that, we officially have a sword. Let's get moving. To literally anywhere and everywhere but where we're meant to go, because there is something over here I want to grab. It's a rupee. Delicious. I did just spend a lot of rupees, and I do want to kind of regain some of that, because as I've said, rupees are a precious commodity, so I do want to grab them. Otherwise, there's a house over here that I haven't gone into. There are a few houses that I haven't gone into, but this is the only one that I really care for. First of all, we can cut down all this grass that he wanted us to cut down earlier. It doesn't really do much for us other than drop stuff, because again, this is a Zelda game. Hidden in the grass, there's rupees, hearts. You need something, it's probably in the grass. Bombs probably are in the grass. I actually don't know if grass drops bombs. I'm pretty sure it does. Grass drops everything. More importantly, inside this house, he has something hidden away. Similar to the way that our grandma had life savings hidden under her house, this guy has his life savings hidden somewhere in his house as well. Though, they're very, very poorly hidden, and it's only 20 rupees. I scoff at your minuscule amount of money. I was hoping it would be a little bit more worth my while to go out of my way and pick up those $20. I had to crawl under your bed, and all you give me is $20 in return. Deplorable. Anyway, up here there's a path that I haven't been taking. The reason for that is because all that's on this path is a rupee, which I just picked up, a singular green rupee, that's it, and also a dead end. Well, a dead end that we wouldn't have been able to get past previously, but now we have the power. No entry. The forest paths are closed until suspension bridge repairs are complete. Yeah, there's actually a reason for these trees being here. I don't know why they blocked this off with trees and not something like, I don't know, metal bars. A gate would have done a better job, I think. Anyway, there's some grass for us to cut. I'm not going to cut all of it. And up here, there are two interesting places we can go to. Well, one is not interesting at all right now, but it'll be interesting in the future. This right up here. Yeah, there's nothing. You can cut down flowers if you want, you monster. And there's also this over here. Fairy fountain site ahead. Increase your fortune. Sounds like something I want to do. And the reason this suspension bridge is not allowed to be walked on is because not everyone has the power of auto-jumping like Link. They can't make it over that gap. And to be fair, Link really didn't do a great job making it over that gap either. He almost missed, so I can kind of understand. But anyway, moving on. There she is. Somehow suspended on that branch. I don't get it. I don't think anybody does. Maybe the wind blew her into that position. I don't know. More importantly, though, our first enemy. This game is the first game to introduce bokoblins. You'll also notice that, unlike my previous Zelda playthroughs, well, if you've watched them, I didn't actually use the Navi of this game in order to say, oh, look, this is this enemy, and I didn't read its description. That's because, to my knowledge, there is nothing of that sort in this game. Not that I know of, anyway. So I'm going to have to try to remember that enemy names on hand, off the top of my head, which probably won't work out all that well. Anyway, bokoblins are pretty much just weaker moblins. There's a reason that they are the first enemy you face in this game. They're really not all that tough. Fairy fountain site. You know it's important because it's bold and big. This spot marks the remains of an ancient fairy fountain. The legendary hero who was said to come here after battle so that fairies could ease his weariness. It was also said that whoever met with the great fairy who lived here was blessed with great fortune. So it came to be known as the Fountain of the Fortune Goddess. Well, this Fountain of the Fortune Goddess really can't be accessed by us right now. We can't pick it up. We're not super strong. And we also can't blow it up. So, let's just keep moving on. There's a fallen tree which we can climb up here. This entire area is just a big horseshoe. There's really nothing special about it. But what is special is these bokoblins raining from above. And as I previously stated, bokoblins are really nothing special. Zelda combat is always pretty basic, and it's no different here. Bokoblins really don't attack you all that quickly, and just spin attack. It's that easy. Just spin attack. Ouch! Wow, what's with that getup? Well, whatever. So, where am I? Oh, that's right. That giant bird came and... Miss Tetra! Oh, thank goodness, you're safe! When I saw you get dropped on this summit, I thought for sure you'd... Summit? So that bird dropped me on the top of a mountain? Well, wasn't that nice of it? Well, don't just stand there, let's go! Time to repay our debt to that bird in full. But miss, what about this boy? Don't worry about him, come on! Stupid kid. Get a hold of yourself. She's gone. There's nothing you can do. What? You want to come with us on our ship? Do you understand what you're asking? We're pirates. You know, pirates. The terrors of the seas. What do we get out of bringing some helpless little kid along with us? I'll tell you what we get. A headache. I know how you must feel, with your sister having been kidnapped and all. But that doesn't really have anything to do with us, now does it? And how do you figure that? Whoa there, just who are you? Where do you get off butting into someone else's conversation? Please, all I mean to say is that if you big bad pirates hadn't come to this quiet little island, that poor girl wouldn't have been snatched away by that bird. And just what do you mean by that? Just be quiet for a moment and I'll tell you. Now, as my work entails delivering letters, I spend much of my time traveling amongst the many different islands. As a result, I hear many things. Haven't any of you heard word that young girls have been getting kidnapped lately from all regions of the Great Seas? No matter. Whether you've heard it or not, that seems to be the case. Young girls with long ears like yours have been getting kidnapped, never to be seen again. And unless my eyes fail me, the young girl who was just kidnapped from this island also had long ears, does she not? Much like you do, Miss Fearsome Pirate. My point is that the bird mistook that poor girl for you, and that's why it grabbed her. And, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was young Link here who saved you from the monsters in the forest, wasn't it? Is this true? Oh, and while I'm at it, I may as well tell you that the bird that kidnapped both you and Link's sister has made its foul nest to the north on the heights of the Forsaken Fortress. The Forsaken Fortress? Isn't that place where... So what are you going to do? Under the circumstances, I don't think it would be unreasonable for you to give Link a little help now, would it? Ha! I don't need you to tell me that. Even if I were to consider it, lately I've heard nothing but evil rumors about the Forsaken Fortress. You can't possibly mean to go there with nothing but this cheap little sword. That's not brave, it's stupid. I mean, come on. Even a simple little island like this has to have something that can be used as a shield, you know? Something to protect yourself with. Anything? Tell you what, if you come back with something like that, we'll let you stow away on our ship. Oh, and one more thing. Once we leave, you won't be coming back here for a while, so you'd better go and say goodbye to your family while you have the chance. I don't want you to get all weepy-eyed and homesick on me. Well, Miss Tetra, little sassafras. That's a really dumb way of putting that, but we have only seen one shield throughout our entire adventure, and that place is a place we know very well. Our own home. So last we saw it, it was hanging up as like some type of family heirloom. So don't mind me, Grandma, I'm just gonna go grab it. Or not. It's gone. But where? Link. Is this what you're looking for? Take it with you. You got the hero shield. This is the legendary shield, said to have been used by the hero himself. Hold ZR to defend yourself while holding your sword out. I guess it's true. Errol really has been kidnapped, hasn't she? What kind of monster would take such a sweet young child? And on that somber note, next time on Let's Play The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD, we got our shield, and we'll be heading out on that adventure to save our sister. But that's for next time. Until then.